Hi, I'm Eric Wallen. Today we're going to do some stretches to help you maintain your flexibility during this time. So here we go. The main stretches that we do, we try to get through every muscle group in your body. So we're gonna work from our toes all the way up to the top of our head. So the first stretch that we're gonna do today is gonna stretch out the back of our legs. If we do this properly, you get your hamstrings and your calves involved. So as you put your legs straight out in front of you, legs completely straight, toes pull back towards your knees. You reach down and grab your toes. If you can't grab your toes, reach down as far as what's comfortable, and you're gonna hold for about 10 seconds, okay? I don't wanna see people doing this. The bouncing technique has gone away. That's a better chance of tearing your muscles. So you slowly lean forward, keep your body straight, reach out as far as you can, and hold. Okay, you're gonna hold that for about 10 to 15 seconds. And as you pull back on your toes, you'll feel the stretch come all the way through your calves and into your hamstrings, okay? Here we go. First stretch is stretching out your calves and your hamstrings. Go. Make sure you're pulling back with constant tension, leaning forward. All right? So there's 12 seconds. That's a good start. All right? What you want to do is do it a couple of different times. So the second time you go down, you're going to get a little bit better stretch because your muscles are starting to loosen up and are warmed up. Here we go. Here's number 2. If you can go a little further, reach a little further. Make sure you're pulling yourself as far as you can to get the best stretch that you possibly can. And there's 12 seconds. Good job. The next stretch is going to stretch out your quads. It's kind of hard to stretch out your quads when you're sitting down. There's a couple different ways to do it. The best way that we've found out to do it is to slide to the side of your chair, drop your right knee down to the floor, okay? So it's almost like this is straight. Keep that knee pointed down towards the floor and try to lean back so you can stretch out both sides of the muscle. So your knee's bent at least 90 degrees and then you're leaning back as far as you can. So you'll feel that stretch come right through this area, okay? The next stretch that we're gonna do is to stretch out both of your quads. So this is bilateral, you're gonna do each side. So we're gonna hold them for about 12 seconds or so. Here we go. First one, right knee down to the floor, lean back, and here's our stretch. You're gonna feel it all the way through your quad. As you lean back, if you could lean back further, you can even get a better stretch, but that's the whole goal, is to stretch this out the best that you can, okay? And there's 12 seconds. So then we slide over and do the same thing with our left leg. Left knee down to the floor, okay? Point it down as far as you can and then lean back. As soon as you start to lean back, we'll start the timer and you stretch, okay? Again, you're feeling that all the way through the top part of your leg. Okay, so this is the left side. And we're back over to the right side. Doing 2 stretches each time. Okay, right leg back down there, and here we go. There's 12, back to the other side. And left knee down to the ground, and up, here we go. All right, there's 12 seconds, good job. All right, our next stretch is the best stretch that I've ever found for your sciatica. So this is gonna stretch out your gluteal region. So this is the best way to do it. What you're gonna do is you're gonna sit in a figure 4. You're gonna bring your right leg up, crossed over the top of your left knee, try to sit up straight, okay? So now you're looking at a good figure 4 right here. So then the next thing you wanna do is once you're here, you wanna bend forward as far as you can and try to lay your chest down on top of your leg like this. As you do that, you'll feel a pull through your hamstring into your butt. And that's the whole key, is to start stretching this out. Because if you've ever had sciatica, you know when that pain starts radiating down your leg, it sucks. So as I'm crossing my right leg, I'm stretching my right leg out, okay? We're gonna do this bilaterally as well, so you can switch over to your left leg. So as you're coming in, you're pressing down on this knee and leaning down in, okay? So that's the important part. Press down on the knee that's up and try to lay down flat on here. The other alternative that we're gonna do is the second time we go through this stretch, we're gonna take that knee and pull it cross. So your left knee will go to your right shoulder, your right knee will go to your left shoulder. You're gonna stretch out both sides, all right? Here's the first stretch for your sciatica, basically. Cross your right leg up, right knee is up, press down and lean down. Here's hoping everybody's showered and their feet don't stink, because this is as close as you'll ever get to it. And there's 12 seconds. Good. So now we're going to switch over. Left leg up, pressing down on your left knee, laying flat. Nothing like getting turned into a pretzel, right? You're about there. All right. Good job. Now we're back over to the right side. Crossing your right leg. This is the one where we're going to pull our right knee up to our left shoulder. So you want to pull it up as tight as you can. And you'll really feel that stretch coming right through here. Okay? Squeeze and hold. All right, good job. Left leg, and squeeze and hold. Good. The next stretch, we're gonna start working on our sides. Okay, so starting to stretch out your core a little bit. So what we do is we lift our arm up, bend it over the top of your head. So if I'm lifting with my right arm, I'm gonna take my right arm and try to lean that way. Don't fall off your chair. This is always the biggest part of it. Keep your body centered on your chair. As you lean over, you should feel a stretch going up the side of your body. Okay, you wanna stretch that out best you can. This really helps open up all of your chest cavity as well, because as you're leaning up this way, you're gonna squish this side, but you're opening up over here. Okay, so we're gonna hold that for 10, 12 seconds each side. We're gonna go back and forth bilaterally, making sure that we do both sides. You always wanna do both sides. Okay? All right, so here's our first side stretch. Right arm up, lean over to the left. Make sure that you keep your balance on the chair. Lean as far as you can, but don't go tipsy, okay? Keep both cheeks on the seat at all times, okay? There's that side, come back, left arm up, and go. Stretching over to the other side. Stretch as far as you can, really make sure you get a good pull over here. Okay, that's the important part. You always want to go through the biggest pain-free range of motion you can, stretch out to find out what that is. All right, back to the right. Good. This time let's lean about 45 degrees forward a little bit. So it's not straight out to the side. Now you're getting a little more back than just the side, okay? Good, left arm, back up, and 45 degrees off to the side. Now you're feeling a little bit of your back stretch and your side. It's a great way to start loosening up your midsection, all right? There you go, good job. Our next stretch that we're gonna do is we're gonna work on stretching your chest. A lot of people work right in front of them. So if you're cooking something, if you're on a typewriter, wow, if you're on a computer, you know, you're gonna sit here with your hands in front of you all the time. My wife used to do cancer research. So she was always reaching in a hood doing things like this, and she never had a chance to really open up, okay? So you'll notice that as people start to get older, your shoulders start to roll forward because your chest muscles get tighter and tighter because everything you do is in front of you. So one of the things we want to do is really work on opening up your chest cavity and stretch out. So if you can reach behind you and grab your hands, it's a great way to do this. So then you can get your shoulders to go back, okay? So the goal is to get your hands back here, okay? So now you can see how much open my chest cavity is. And then to make it even more fun, lift your hands as high as you can, okay? So this is going to stretch out your chest cavity, but also the front of your bicep. So as you get up to here, okay, that's the best stretch you can do. We'll show you another modification of this stretch later, but this is the best way to do it from a seated position. Okay. All right, here's our stretch for your chest. Hands back, shoulders back, and lift your hands. Really focus on sitting up as straight as you can. You don't want to hunch forward just to get your hands higher. Sit up straight. Good job. So now, we're going to go back to that in just a second, but we're going to do a couple other exercises first. We're going to try to loosen up your shoulders a little bit to try to make that stretch the second time a little bit better. So one of the things that we're going to do is getting in a running motion where you're just moving your arms back and forth like this. And you can just do this to loosen up your shoulder joints a little bit, okay? And then from there, once you do this for just a few times, then you're going to go side to side. Not moving your torso, just your arms, so your shoulder joints are loosening up. Okay? Now you're getting more blood flow. Now, hands back, shoulders back, and lift. So now you should be getting a little higher because your shoulders are a little looser from the first stretch and a little more blood flow going in your arms and your shoulders as well. All right, good job. The next stretch that we're going to do is we're going to stretch out the back of your arms, your triceps, okay, back here. So there's a couple different ways you can do it. If you have shoulder limitations and you don't have a great range of motion, you can take your right hand, throw it over the top of your left shoulder, then grab the back of your elbow and try to push, almost to make it look like you're choking yourself. That's going to stretch out the whole back of your arm this way. Okay, so that's your tricep stretch. If you have good shoulder flexibility and you can get your arm above your head, another way you can do that is by putting your elbow straight up in the air, grabbing a hold of it and pulling back this way. So now again, I'm stretching out the best way I can back there and pull back. Okay? Hand over your shoulder, grab the back of your elbow and push. Again, maintain good posture, sitting up straight. This will help work on your core as we're doing all these stretches. Okay, now we're going to switch, go to the left side. Same thing, left hand over your right shoulder, push back. Again, pushing as hard as you can, that direction. Get a good stretch across the back. All right, now you can go back to the right side. All right, good job, and back to the left. All right. Our next stretch is for your bicep and your forearms. So one of the hardest things to do is to stretch something that no matter what, that's as straight as you're gonna make it. Unless you break your elbow, which if you do, go call 911 and you're in a lot of pain. So your arm's only gonna go this straight. So you're gonna stretch your bicep just that far. But if you take your hand and put it as straight as you can, grab your fingers and pull back while you keep your arm straight, you can stretch out the whole front of your arm and a little bit of your bicep. The only other way to do it is to take your hands back like this and go straight back and try to stretch your bicep from your shoulder joint. But the flexibility that you have right here isn't necessarily going to be good enough to always stretch out that bicep. So we're going to go this way. Arm straight in front of you, grab your fingers, pull down, and try to keep your arm as straight as you can. If you really want to go with a good bicep stretch, what you can do is from this position, put your hands like this, grab a golf ball or a tennis ball and roll it over your bicep, and that'll help stretch it out a little bit too. But that's a sneaky another level. Here's our stretch for our biceps and our forearms. All right, sitting up straight, right arm up, palm up, grab your fingers, pull down, and stretch. again, maintain good posture throughout all these. Sitting up straight, back straight. Always work on your core while you're doing this. I have a really hard time not doing this. Okay, switch over to the left, same thing, arms straight, pull your fingers down. Stretch out those hands. You'll notice over the course of time, people start to get to the point where their hands look like they're always starting to look like they're gonna start grabbing something. Back to the right, hands, arms straight, fingers back. Best range of motion you can. Please don't be one of those people that can put your fingers on the back of your arm. That looks like it hurts really bad. All right, back to the left. All right, good job. Shake your hands out. The last stretch that we're going to do is for your neck. And so that's one of the most important things you can stretch, right? Because if you get to the point where every time you turn your head, you have to do this to see what's going on around you versus just simply doing this, it makes life a lot more of a challenge. So maintain good flexibility. Stretching is very important. Stretching your neck is very important. So one of the things that we're going to do is we're going to sit straight up. And we're going to start by taking your left shoulder and your left ear and trying to make them touch. Okay, so you're going to go that way, then you're going to go to the right, then you're going to lift your head back, lifting your chin as high as you can because you want to stretch this out the best that you can. And then we're going to do another one where you put your chin into your chest and you really feel it come up the back of your neck, okay? So we're going to go all 4 different directions and then we're going to go in a circle, okay? The first one we're going to do, we're going to go left ear, left shoulder. Lean over. And again, maintain good posture through this so you don't tip over too far. Right ear, right shoulder. Really focus on keeping your shoulders down, so if you lift your head this way, you don't bring your shoulder up. Okay, back to the left. Right shoulder stays down. Left ear, go to your left shoulder. And back to the right. All right, good. Now head back. Lift your chin up as high as you can. Look at your ceiling. Notice how many light bulbs and tiles are missing. It's a great way to go. Okay, this is how I always inspect what needs to be done around here. All right, chin into your chest, bear your chin down, really stretch out the back of your neck best you can. Okay, keep both your shoulders down, but really stretch out the back of your neck. Okay, head back, chin up. And chin back down into your chest, as far as you can. Now big circle. Start making your head go in a circle one direction, all the way around. The biggest range of motion that you can get through, every time. Good, now go the other direction. Make sure you maintain your breathing. If you don't, you're going to see a lot of funny little stars if you keep your eyes closed. All right? Good job. It's a great way to stretch out your neck. Thanks for joining us today. I hope you had a chance to get a little bit of a workout in. And so please do whatever you can to stay healthy. Eat right, work out a little bit. Go outside and get a walk in. You know, the weather's getting to be nicer. Maintain that social distancing, but stay safe. So stay safe, but be healthy. Eat right, work out. Find ways to communicate with your friends. If you don't get a chance to see them right now and stay 6 feet away, call them, reach out. Make sure you stay connected with people, because that's an important part right now. We want everybody to be healthy, but we still want you to find different ways to be happy.